So it's been exactly 1 year since I last sat my medical school paper. 1 year of pre-internship. 1 year of unemployment. 1 year of learning. 1 year of very many things. You know what happens is that normally you just finish your medical school paper, then like 1 to 3 months they deploy you, you go, you become an intern, you start earning, blah, blah, blah. But things changed when we finished. For the better, I believe. I don't know. You guys heard the story. At one point, we wanted to overthrow the ministry, then the government. You must have seen us somewhere. Deploy us, deploy us. We thought we were going to die. Because imagine 1 year of doing nothing, which is, it doesn't really make sense because most of the time, medical students are fighting to be given time to rest. So the guys told us, oh, you want to rest? They gave us 1 year to rest. But now we didn't want to rest. It doesn't make sense, right? Because doctors are always complaining that we don't have enough time to rest. So the guys are like, oh, maybe let them rest. But now, we didn't want to rest. Anyway, so many lessons, so many things, but this is what I have picked out of this one. Days cannot move. You know, before finishing, you think you're indisposable, cream de la cream, best of the best, what, the world can't live without you, until the university coughs you out into the world and you realize, you know, actually, things can move on without you, systems can work without you. The hospitals that we thought would not run without interns that can actually work without you. There has been a lot of learning in this very short period. So now let me take you back. In the beginning, we started by, there was, let me say, rioting, yeah. Deploy us, what, where are the base? It didn't work because you can't, I just realized you can't defeat people who came in with violence. It doesn't work that way. So that was a wrong approach. And also, the numbers, like they didn't deploy like 1,000 interns, but then whenever we would go to fight for our rights, it would be like 30. So it became like a story of 1986. 27 guns, like 26 guys going to the bush to fight for the liberation of the majority. It doesn't work like that most days, and it takes a lot of courage to stay a part of those 26 because people actually move on. Yeah? Like 2 days, 3 days into the fight, 1 week into the fight, and guys had moved on. People were doing USMLEs, doing their businesses. Guys were going on vacation. On vacation. And we're in the struggle. And the things you learn. But this is what I learned the most. If you're still in medical school and you've always wanted to do these things called, is it USMLE, PLAB, what, those things that take you abroad over greener pastures, you better start doing them now. Because by the time this realization came to us, we didn't even have the energy to open any book. So the earlier, the better. And also, if you wanted to learn new languages, because most people want to go to Europe because they're the better employers, the best time to start learning those languages is now. I am learning German from this school. I'll share their link wherever it is. And it's a little bit difficult when you're overly grown. It is easier when you're still in medical school or when you're still in school. So for the guys, the earlier, the better. The other thing I learned that is medicine alone is not enough. Yeah. I know they are pumping you with things of you're the cream de la cream, you're the best of the best, what. Even those things, medicine alone is not enough. So if you have your jobs, most medical students, they're either selling bags online or selling medical kits or whatever online, just keep doing those things because it is what actually keeps you insane. Because now, us were like the pilot study. Yeah, they used us as a pilot study to see if we tell medical students to stay at home for a year, will they die? We haven't died. So the pilot study is complete, and I think it has worked out very well. So now I think it is going to become a mandatory 1 year of rest. Yeah, so medicine has become 7 years now. Yeah, so those both side hustles that you have, first keep them close like this because 1 year. And I know most guys will be like, why don't you go and volunteer, blah, blah. Let me tell you, man, like when there's just something about pre-interns and people do not want to associate with them. These are hospitals that you see, big hospitals, blah, blah, blah. That's where most of your mentors will tell you to go. You will go there, they will chase you. They'll be like, no, you don't actually have any skill, and that is true. Unless the hospital is owned by one of your relatives or, these planned kiddos. But like, pre-intern, like, most guys looked for an easier approach. They cut the chase and they went back to the villages for greener pastures. But for me, it doesn't make sense leaving Kampala to go to the village for greener pastures, because most people, your parents left the village and they came to Kampala so that you get greener pastures. Now you're leaving Kampala to go back to the village that they left so that, like it's like obanga tababaze magezi. But some guys went back to the village for greener pastures, and I wouldn't advise that. Yeah, I feel like the greener pastures are here. You just have to be around. Now back to the guys who are still in school. Now if you're still in school, and medical school mainly, and you're not part of any club, these things of a surgical society, of a medicine society, EMIG. Now me, I put on this scrub that I put on that you guys tell me, why don't you remove that scrub? This is Emergency Medicine Society, Makerere University, Mark EMIG. And this is one of the ways I have survived the most. Like, do not let go of these clubs. If you're not yet in any of those clubs, please join them quickly, because when the university coughs you out, you have very few people you can run to. Now, luckily for some of us, I don't want to use the word founding members, but we're like the first people who did this thing. So you can imagine where we ran to immediately after. We just went to the department, we sat there, we're like, we are here. We are yours, you use us the way you want to use us. And that's how you get, gigs or whatever. So, as most people are applying to go to clinics where they won't be paid, at least you have something to, work around with. Which brings me to the next point. These all things of working for clinics, it's like a fallacy. You're going to waste your time, waste your energy. The truth is, clinics in Uganda are not ready to appreciate you the way you want to be appreciated. You guys will understand. And it is worse when you're a pre-intern. I think when you're a post-intern, you can bargain. When you're a pre-intern, you don't have a license. So you can't tell someone, pay me this. So even when you agree to pay you a certain fee, most of my friends who have worked at clinics, they chase themselves after 2 months. There is no money. They don't pay you, but you work. You don't just work, you overworked. So the year is not so bad after all. What we feared that would happen has already happened. The content evaporating, losing touch of your skill, like losing a lot of energy reading books. It has already happened. There's nothing we can do about it. But here, that is the first weeks of internship. It's going to be like going back to year 3. But it has passed, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now, I think, like I told you, we're used as a pilot study. So the guys coming after us now, just prepare for the year. 365 days.